Alright guys, welcome back to the final series of the day. It is of course Space Soldiers up against Fragsters. Don't mind the Ents esports at the top. It's not easy for Ents because they're not in this game. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this best of three. The lower bracket, of course, one of these teams is going to be eliminated from the qualifier. And I'm going to put you on the spot here, Dinko. I'm going to ask you, who do you think is going to be getting the victory here? And you want to give us a bit of a prediction about what scoreline you think it'll be?
This one's a little bit harder to call. I think, coming into this one, you look at Fragsters, they didn't have a great performance earlier against North. I think coming into this one, Space Soldiers have been a little bit shaky as well. But I think at this point I'm gonna have to go with Fragsters. I think Fragsters will take it 2-1. I just have faith in the Danish Counter-Strike. Although Space Soldiers may be sort of favorites on paper to a lot of people, I'm just gonna have faith in the Fragsters side. I think they're gonna take it 2-1. It's gonna be difficult for them, but I think I'm going to hitch my bet on the Fragster side of things. I don't know about you, Dean.
I think I'm going to go with Space Soldiers, and that's, I guess, just because of the fact that they are not only the fact that they're a more known team, rather, but also the fact that I, of course, watched Fragsters playing just a little while ago up against North, and I wasn't very impressed. I know that they can do a lot better, but it didn't seem like today was really their day. I'm hoping they'll step it up here now against Space Soldiers, but I think that in terms of the level of individual skill, I think Space Soldiers will be a little bit harder for them to handle because, of course, sure, North have a lot of individual skill themselves, but they didn't really have a strong upper, kind of like the way Space Soldiers do. They can pass it around between Calyx and Paz, and also I've seen Engine pick it up at points, so I think Space Soldiers are going to be a little bit more versatile, and also starting off here on the CT side of train, if they can get off to a solid start and just kind of lock it down, then I think Fragsters are definitely going to struggle. But here we go. Let's see, we're getting into the action already, Dinko. And surprisingly, no defuse kit for Space Soldiers, just all Kevlar.
Very confident. Telegraphs how they feel about this one. Just a full Cal. They're going to try and win those aim battles. Fragsters seem to be putting a little bit of pressure towards the B bomb site to begin with. The bomb is actually lacking behind a little bit, so they're just going to go for this sort of slower play, wait for any aggression perhaps to come through, and then B contact is the call. And we've seen this come through a lot of times on Trin. Let's see if it works out here. It's usually an upper and inner split, outer and inner split. Pieces utility used up. Flashbangs come in. Molotov's there as well to work with. Engine's going to have to pick up the first couple of kills here as they begin to pressure his position.
Yeah, already drops though after only one, sadly. Major able to find a trade as well. This bomb now is indeed going to be planted. It's a pretty aggressive play actually coming in from Bubsky. He's pushed all the way up towards Connector, and I don't think they realize this one eventually is spotted out by Xanthers, who's in a very awkward position right here, just kind of trapped in from both sides. Eventually being given the opportunity to go ahead and escape, but sadly, Bubsky continues to find the frags. He takes down both of his teammates and the final headshot onto Xanthers.
Yeah, that's a great start from Fragsters. Is their map pick, of course. Train is really their specialist map, so they've got to get this one in the bag. This is the win conditions for Fragsters in this best of three. They have to win Train. There's no question about it. I think Mirage is a pretty poor map for them. So moving on to that second one, we're likely to see Space Soldiers win that one. But Fragsters, they have to win Train, and it's a great start to win the pistol. According to HLTV, they have a 100% win rate on Train. Of course, they've played against weaker opponents. I think they're not too bad either. I think they've got Sprout in there. We've got teams of that caliber across the board in the mix that they've played against and won on Train. So they have a little bit. They are definitely a good team on this map. So Space Soldiers definitely have to fight their way out of this one. There's the opening kill from Torben, followed by a kill from Xanthers from the Deagle. But look at this position deep from Refresh, all the way inside of CT spawn. Able to catch out Major and put Space Soldiers into a position where they look to just try and save the Deagles and the Kevlar more than anything.
Yeah, that was just a very quick run from Fragsters. They were out on the B side basically before Space Soldiers got a chance to really do anything. I think it was the scout in towards upper, and they just walked straight down the ramp. One kill being found by Space Soldiers, but not a lot of damage to be put in. And as you said, looking to just try and save over these pistols and Kevlar so they at least have something to work with in this next round. But good work by Fragsters. Quick 2-0 start. Keeping up for their weapons. And now coming into this next round, just going to be Space Soldiers looking to try and get some damage done. That will be their main focus. Drop as many weapons as they can. Just make sure that they can do the damage to the economy of Fragsters and keep it modest so that they will be a position where once they get those the actual buyout, that maybe they can get the reset in. But of course, already some money being built up from Fragsters, and this round as well gives them a good opportunity to do so.
Yeah, this is perfect case now to build up a little bit of money, but they can't be complacent because Space Soldiers still have those 3 players with Kevlar. So it's definitely still a possibility that Space Soldiers could cause a bit of a stir in terms of a couple of frags at least. So Fragsters seem to be going for the split through Ivy. Plenty of players coming towards that position. It's going to come down to the hold from Major. He's going to be the first man they're going to face. He's got the USP. Instead backs off and gives the info to Calyx. Sits back with the Deagle on the brown train, but falls. Stavin able to pick up that kill. A young star for Fragsters. Get out the opening. I mean, it should just be a pretty easy cleanup for them. I mean, there's only pistols for Space Soldiers. Utility usage towards Pop Dog, just preventing anybody from getting a kill from that angle. The bomb will get on in the default position. And there we go. Fragsters just looking to try and take this one as cleanly as possible. Then keep all 5 alive. That's best case scenario for their economy. Allows it a lot of legroom to grow. Ooh.
It's Dragonfly, by the way, if you're a little bit confused. Guldsmeden is his name for some reason. Some people earlier said that it just translates to Dragonfly in Danish, but I also seen one person or a couple people say it meant like some like blacksmith or goldsmith or something. I don't know. I don't think so. I think it is just Dragonfly. Apparently it was his name before he kind of reached the pro level. I guess anglicizing his name to make it a little bit easier for the caster. So thank you, but he's reverted now. He wants to make it a little bit more awkward for us, Dinko. We already have strange accents. Why not make it even worse? But yeah, here we go. The 4th round, rather, the first gun round coming out. And we do see the op as well being available for Major, so he's going to be looking to try and bring that one into this round. Question is, where does he actually try and bring it? Seems like he's just going to take it over towards Ivy and play pretty passively, so just a bit of a standard position as to start this round off. Fragsters right now just grouping straight up and over towards the B holds. And it looks like we could see a little bit of a fast-paced round yet again. And with only a single player on this side of the map currently, that could be awkward. And we actually see, I believe that his engine, with only a small amount of utility, nothing to really try and delay, needs to just connect these shots basically, which he is actually going to be successful in doing. Gets himself 2 quick kills, does eventually fall in return, as we see a 3-on-3 after those initial exchanges. And the bomb site does fall under control of Fragsters.
Yeah, it got a little bit messy there towards the end. He does pick up the 2 kills, and there's Paz just trying to get in. Major actually connects the first shot with the ult, but a second from Calyx, so all into Stavin, and nothing's going to happen for him, and that's a very good retake. It seemed as though Fragsters just melted, and that will be 3-1, the first round on the board for Space Soldiers. And that's something. I mean, Dean, we kind of seen the hold to begin with. We think, all right, this could get messy because he had to fall off that white train. If Fragsters were able to take the player up on top of the white train down earlier on, that would have been probably Fragsters' round. But with him picking up 2, that puts it into an even position. And obviously, Space Soldiers even able to come in with that retake. So great job done from them. They put themselves in a great position to try and get a few more into the opening rounds of the first half. Double up setup coming out almost immediately here, and this is nice to see. I like this map for that particular reason, that it's really good for the double up setup. You can have that dynamic where one gets really aggressive, one a little bit more passive and plays this turret style, and it's good for finding those opening kills. And if all things go sour, then it's good to find the trades. So it's got a good win scenario with those weapons.
Yeah, a little bit slower this time. I don't know if that was on your end, but for some reason when they were shooting the window out, there was a random, like, how do you say it? A random muzzle flash just in the middle of the sky right there. I was watching whoever was on the A-bomb site. I think it was Xantar's. That was very strange.
Yeah, I see that as well. Yeah, you get some weird things like that happen, especially on this map. I think even if you go towards A main, some of the entities in the map, some of the assets don't really load until you get closer to them. Although, we'll get back into the action. Pat's actually able to find 2 for the CT side. Dragonfly answering back with 2 himself. So, keeping it within a 3 versus 3. Runs back up the ladder. If he had got that one, I probably would have freaked out. But Engine at least keeps me sane and picks up the kill back. It will be a 2 versus 3. 50 seconds left. Davin edges his way out from Ivy. The sneak attack comes through. He's able to pick up a kill onto Xantares. And now with 42 seconds left, what's the call here from Fragsters? The bomb is left up in the upper brown halls. Covered all over the place by the 2 Space Soldier side, Major and Engine. You have swift control of that. It should be very difficult to get anywhere near it, especially with 27 seconds left. Is this even viable to go for this? Maybe just try and pick up and play for elimination, but Space Soldiers, they know that they've just got to hold on for a few more seconds up inside of the smoke. Stavin picks up the kill on the Engine. It's all onto Major, 1 versus 2, 14 seconds left. If they eliminate him, that's the only option, really. Not enough time to get that bomb down, so Stavin runs towards B, just trying to desperately find a kill, but Major runs right into the open path. But, oh my goodness, 20 seconds, 20 HP, should I say. And that is Major just slithering away to safety, but that got scary there, Dean.
Yeah, that was risky, running across connector. I think you thought they were going A.
Yeah, definitely. Like, the time for Fragsters, if they had committed to it a little bit earlier than they did, they would have had time to run back to A. But I think at the point where they realized they had to go to B, they were just, oh, we've got to play for this.
Yeah, that just could have been so dangerous right there. But in the end, Space Soldiers get themselves a second round on the board. And it is Fragsters working with a much weaker investment. They actually just eco around the 2 weapons that they were able to save. But Refresh, he has the up in hands and is allowed to just walk straight out of A main and actually claim himself 2 quick frags. Drops Calyx and Paz, rather. Although there will be one trade brought back in.
Nice kill from Santeros. Looks up towards the top of the green train to see if he can connect onto another one. But Engine spraying, trying to connect something else as well. But there's a close shot from Refresh. But to take in Santeros on the second as well as Engine falls. 4 for Refresh on the AWP. So a double up setup of the T side, which is a little bit unorthodox to see on train. But it's working out here for the Danes.
Yeah, and Refresh as well. Not normally the player you see picking up that up, so really good work.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's good to see that he can pick it up as well. Definitely a player that can do it. I think having that sort of skill set within your team that anybody can really frag with the AWP is good to have. Don't know if they're going to stick with the double up setup. It could be a little bit risky on the T side of things because obviously it's a little bit, they've got some close quarter angles. Sometimes the AWP can be overwhelmed. I mean, it's something they can work with, I guess, in 1 or 2 rounds, but making it a consistent thing is definitely going to be more of a hindrance than a help. So let's see what they can, if they're going to stick with that or they go for the full rifles. Torben yet to buy anything, so he'll be the man to make the call. The AWP has been thrown from Refresh over to Dragonfly once more, so they might just leave that AWP or throw it over the edge or something.
Yeah, probably for the best, especially up against this force buy. I guess they could use that second up early on to try and work the openings, but it also gives a position where, of course, if those ops fall, gifts them over towards Space Soldiers, and of course we see they are working with a pretty weak investment. So I guess that is where the secondary up could be pretty viable, because of course up against the SMGs and the pistols, you are going to be maybe given some opportunities at long range, but I'd expect Space Soldiers to probably play a little bit closer, try and play a bit safer. Surprisingly though, not getting aggressive up towards Pop Dog. That's a very common play when you're with these SMGs and just pistols, so let's see what Fragsters can find. Already putting some pressure on over towards B in an attempt to just kind of bait out that utility, which they do quite successfully early on into the round, rather. Failing a bit with my English right now, but good work by Dragonfly. Opens this round up as well. Drops Major immediately over towards Ivy and gives them a lot of room to work with as they are pushed up all the way towards the end of it now. And if they want, that gives them a great opportunity to try and actually split towards the A-bomb site. And they continue to find the frags.
Yeah, and Dragonfly and Refresh, dynamic duo is working together to get the frags. They find 2. This is a good flank from Engine, though. This could cause a bit of a scare for them, from Pop Dog. I think their eyes are trained on that position, so if he is to make the play, he's actually backing away through Brown Halls and all the way back to T-spawn. So Fragsters will be given their 5th. Space Soldiers, again, investing, really didn't get too much out of their investment. They got 1 frag. So, you know, they didn't get too much. They didn't gain anything. So it'll be interesting to see how the economy stands for them in the next one. I doubt they'll have enough for a buy, so it's kind of the double eco scenario. And there goes Bubsky. He'll finish off the job. Engine will find it. And that will be Space Soldiers still on 2. And again, it's another eco for them. So we're looking to see Fragsters definitely go up to those 6 on the board. And this would be a decent time for Fragsters to pick up an extra bit of cash as well if they wanted to go for an SMG, but obviously actually reinvesting in an AK is the call. So 5-2 is the scoreline, Dean. Most likely going to go up to 6 here, though. And Space Soldiers, this is kind of the result I was expecting to start things off. Fragsters are an excellent team on this map. It's kind of their specialist one. Said they needed to win it. And so far, they're looking to do so.
Yeah, looking really good so far. Already leading 5-2 on the T side. And obviously, of course, with the buy that's currently available for Space Soldiers, we should see them picking up a 6th round pretty easily. Let's see if Space Soldiers can at least make this a little bit costly. As you said, Fragsters, this is their opportunity to really build that economy up. If Space Soldiers can drop 2 or 3 weapons, that would be a pretty good find, considering they put very little investment at all into this round, other than just, of course, that one flash. But with a B stack coming in, and already Fragsters beginning to kind of push out towards that A-bomb site, I wouldn't really expect them to find the lot. That's pretty soon. Fragsters should realize that A is completely clear.
Again, a lot of info from this. Stavin again on the lurk on the individual plays. Trying to pick up a couple of frags. There's plenty coming towards his position, so he may be able to get himself a nice couple of kills here for free. Alex walking through. Actually pre-fires the angle, and Stavin has been dropped down to less than satisfactory HP, 37. He's actually get caught out by the USP of Xanteras. Nice kill from Dragonfly, able to follow up from it though, and the help from Fragsters is there definitely to deal with. Will be 6-2-2, but definitely making it expensive here are the Space Soldiers, not allowing Fragsters to get away scot-free. And the scoreline just will definitely reflect that Fragsters are in the better seat, but Space Soldiers picked up a nice couple of kills there. They'll add themselves into a nice bit of economy.
Major almost getting another kill there. I think it was Bubsky who almost got taken down, so... in the end, they do manage to get 2 kills and even retrieve those rifles in the process. So, a great find. They only invested $200 into that previous round. And as you can see now with the buy coming out, having actually saved those 2 rifles, it allows for them to get that extra utility into this one. And you can see because of that, they have a very solid buy. Still no op coming out. We haven't seen one since that first gun round. But can they make this work now? As they do want to probably try and reach up towards 9, maybe 8 rounds or so at this point. Fragster's already off to a very strong start. And continues in that in that direction, rather, as we do see Stavin already opening it up. As we can see, the op just kind of being passed around, depending on the spawns, etc. And yeah, it's just working out so well for Fragster. Stavin rips the head off his Xanteras. Major gets 1, but it's only a bit of a consolation frag at this point, as Fragster should be finding a 7th round. Calic's not even going to bother rotating, just looking to try and save this AK.
Yeah, this round was a bit of a threat for Fragsters. They had to overcome this one if they wanted to continue this great start, and they do so. They prevail. Although Space Soldiers being able to get away with a couple of these weapons would not be the worst outcome for them. But Major are going to get caught out, so that's one of them gone. Falls onto the mirror singular AK-47. Still a threat will be posed from this in the next one. But Fragsters 7-2. They withstand yet another buy from the Space Soldiers side. And I don't really see any other way this one's going. I think Fragsters should just get themselves a pretty dominant first half, and which is pretty cool to see, especially on the T side of Trim, which is the less favored side for sure. And you know, Space Soldiers definitely not a slouch on Train. They used to be a very good Train team. You see a lot of the Space Soldiers highlight plays are generally on this map as well. So, you know, this is not a poor map for them. I mean, it's kind of dropped off in recent form, but definitely used to be a pretty good one for them. Fragsters, definitely this is their specialist though, and I like I said again, they just really have to win this. There's no other question about it.
Yeah, well, they're doing as you ask right now, because already leading quite heavily up against what is again just a quasi-buy, just the rifle that was saved, some pistols, but refresh. This man is fragging like an absolute monster right now. He just takes over these rounds on his own, basically. We seen the previous one where he got that 4K with the op. Opens up A with 3 in this round, as Major is all alone, left over towards Ivy. Only has the Deeg. He'll probably look for a couple of eggs or frags to once again just try and get the damage done. But at this point already, Fragsters have built up a pretty solid economy, and shouldn't be losing too many more players in this round, if any. I hope, I guess, for Major to retrieve a weapon if possible. He knows there's one on top of the train. You can see him. He wants it, but he's not going to get it, I don't think.
Nah, Torben will find it. That will be it to 2. Fragsters already confirming themselves around lead coming into the second half. And Space Soldiers, it's yet another buy. Now this is do or die time really for the Space Soldiers. If they are able to win this one, then they open up the opportunity to get 7 on the board. Once you get those 7, if you get up to 7, then that's a very good half indeed. Like, just keep it even. It's damage control at this point. So Space Soldiers, if they even want an opportunity of getting to that, they have to win this one. And coming into it with the bites, the rifles across the board, the op-on major. And Fragsters just have to withstand. Yep, again, if they do that as well, Fragsters, they've put themselves in an excellent position. They should be feeling very confident after this one if they win.
Yeah, if they get this round, then they at least find a 10-5 half. Worst case scenario, most likely. So crucial for Space Soldiers to start getting more rounds onto the board here and now. And things are actually looking decent enough. We do see eventually a couple of trades being found from Stavin and Dragonfly. And that's a great Molotov as well to actually force Stavin around into the open. Luckily enough for his own sake, he is able to escape. And Torben and Dragonfly just clean it up. That was a quick end to that round. Didn't even get to see what Torben done. I think he just jumped straight in through that smoke over towards the stop sign. And as we've seen, it's 9-2 now. Space Soldiers once again going to be forced most likely just back down to the pistols and Kevlar. As we see Fragsters just continuing to run away what is so far a very dominating performance.
This is looking great from the Danes. Definitely looking very strong indeed. They withstand yet another buy from Space Soldiers. It's back onto the pistols. Indeed, how great would it be for bragging rights for me if Fragsters went on to win the series?
Be alright, I suppose. Like, I don't know. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose on your predictions.
Well, at least if we look at it this way, we both made predictions on the opposite team, so at least one of us is going to come out on top. At least one of us will win.
It's looking better for you right now. I'm not going to lie, a lot better.
But again, yeah. But this is the map pick, all Fragsters. And this is definitely their better one. So if you're a Space Soldiers fan, don't get too worried. Mirage is coming up next after this one, and that looks to be Space Soldiers right for the taking. So coming into the beat bomb sites, an opening kill from Refresh. Huge entry frag to come through. And this time, they're just walking through again. 2 kills from Refresh. Stavin follows up, and it's just absolutely dismantled Space Soldiers once again. 2 versus 5. Bomb will get on the default position. Bit of a flank coming in from Paz, but it's been spotted. Get the grab spawn as well. And should be just pretty easy for Fragsters to clean it up in the end.
Refresh is currently 16-4. And he's followed pretty closely by Dragonfly as well, who's at 11-6. It's not like anyone right now in Space Soldiers is trailing behind by a lot. It's 6, 5, 5, 4, and 4. It's just that they're being completely outclassed right now. That's really the only way to put it. Fragsters looking spectacular in terms of working together. They have good mid-round calls as well. And as we can see, just really shining in terms of that individual prowess.
You know, we look at, usually when you're talking about Fragsters and the players on the teams, you look towards Refresh, you look towards Stav and Dragonfly up there with them as well. And all 3 of them are playing excellently well. I think Stavin hasn't really had to do, he hasn't had the hard carry because that's Refresh's job at the minute. Definitely up there at the top. Dragonfly having some impact rounds as well. And the score has been helped from Refresh in the eco scenarios. Loves getting out there to find all the kills. Dismantles them when they're on the pistols. It's quite a specialist at that, actually. You know, you're looking to, in this scenario, if Fragsters win this, you're just looking at a very, very dominant half indeed. And you know, coming in from the map win like this, if it ends this dominantly, then going into the second map, even though they're less favored on that map, then you can still carry your confidence over that momentum you've gained from the first one.
Yeah, momentum in CS is really a big factor, but I feel like on this level, most teams do have the ability to reset themselves between maps. So I hope
definitely.
I hope if Fragsters do continue on with this one, that Space Soldiers will be able to go ahead and get themselves back in before the second map, because I want to see a good game. I want to see a close game. The previous one, it wasn't really, was it? We had a game. Oh, look at this Refresh. Hang on, we'll talk about that in just a moment. The perfect position again. Refresh is just opening up this bomb site every single round. It doesn't matter what site he goes towards. He finds 3 or so every single time. As suddenly it's a 4-on-2. Engine and Xanthars, what can they do? Probably just going to have to go and save.
Yeah, you're going to struggle to find a player like Refresh. Is just so impactful every single round. And again, it's the A bomb site just crumbling so many different angles. How does he get there? That's got to be a huge tilt factor. He's just underneath the ladder, but he just sneaks up right behind you, picks up 2, and he's just so explosive. And that is so difficult to deal with. And Space Soldiers now backing off 2 versus 3, gonna just try and get these weapons into the next round. And if they can do that again, it's not the worst case now. But at a certain point, saving over and over again it's just not the right thing, because Fragsters will just pick up round after round after round, and it will be such a dominant half you're looking at. And already it's pretty dominant. 11-2 has the opportunity for Fragsters to get even more. And yeah, this could start to fall apart very quickly for Space Soldiers.
I wouldn't say start to fall apart. I'd
Yeah,
say
that's
it already has. Yeah, it's just, this has been a real struggle right now for them. When they picked up those 2 rounds early on as well, it was 3-0 for Fragsters, then Space Soldiers picked up 2 rounds, right? So at this point, it's been 8 in a row for Fragsters. That's the thing I hate about Panorama. You don't have the round tracker anymore, like we did on the old UI.
You used to. I think it actually used to have it. Like, I think the whole the funny part about it is, right, people are talking, well, we'll get back into it a little bit, but Dragonfly being able to take a kill onto Major, man advantage picked up for Fragsters once more. They look to just try and edge this one out of the half, and Space Soldiers just trying to hold on to the bomb site. This time they've actually got 3 players on the A site, and the 4th is actually coming in for a rotate from the B bomb site. So this could actually work out for Space Soldiers. However, Bubsky finding that kill. Pop Dog has under a lot of pressure on the A bomb site in the middle of the site. Fragsters still have the option to go back B as well, because that bomb stuck inside of Pop Dog. Xanteras and Paz, they step up, and Ace that should just call the hit into the B bomb site, but instead they walk right into the mince grinder towards the A site, and it's actually all under refresh. A 1 versus 3. Find 2 already, Dean, and this again, he does it once more. 3 kills, and what looked good for Space Soldiers has just been ripped apart by refresh.
21-4. He has 16k in the bank.
This guy he's crazy, man. He's such a good player. That, you know, he's so impactful on opening runs and the entry for frags, and then in a clutch situation as well, he's able to pull it through. So he's just an all-round individual god at this game, and it's so good for Fragsters to have right now, because they wouldn't be as dominant if it wasn't for his performance currently here on this map.
My question is, when does Denmark finally scrape the bottom of the barrel in terms of the talent? Because they just have so much. Did Dragonfly not spot Calix on top of it? He did eventually. It took a little while, but he gets the headshot. Slight overkill. Calix just gets absolutely domed. And already it's a 5-on-4 in favor of Fragsters. Looking to pick up this final round and make it 13-2 at half-time. Yeah, this just isn't looking good for Space Soldiers right now. They're going to really need to elevate their level of play in the second half and also in the second map.
Yeah. It's going to come down to Engine here, though, as they come towards the B-bomb site. He's in a decent position to deal with this, although 2 different angles to face. He's got to fight the first fight. They run on top of each other's head, and that makes it so difficult to pick up, but instead, it's Xanteras to step up. A player you talk about being a star player, he's definitely one that epitomizes the definition of star player. He steps up with 2, and this would be a great time for Xanteras to wake up, and he gets dropped. And there goes Dragonfly edging out as well. 13-2 is the half. And this was an incredible performance from Fragsters on the first half of things. And I don't really see a way back for Space Soldiers, especially if they lose the pistol.
Yeah, this is just similar to that previous game we've seen, where if the pistol is lost, it's basically over. When it was, I think, Vanguard versus Gambit on Overpass, wasn't it? Where it was, I think it was either 13-2 or 12-3 at halftime as well. And yeah, you just need that pistol if you want any chance of being able to pull this one back right now. And even with the pistol, I still think it's going to be a very long road ahead for Space Soldiers. Being on the T side, of course, not going to be easy at all.
Yeah, back onto the point of, you know, the round tracing history. You know, it's quite ironic because you got people like Lurpus in the scene who've been, you know, wanting tournament organizers with their custom HUDs to add it into the game. And finally, I think Faceit were the first people to do that. They added in the round tracer on the actual HUD itself. And then Valve just completely get rid of it. It's not even a thing.
I miss it. Just having it there in the middle of the scoreboard so you can easily keep track of how many rounds we're winning in a row.
Yeah, it helps casters so much. And it's gone, Dean.
It's dead. Can we get some rips in the chat, please?
Well, it's a bit of a rip for Space Soldiers currently. It's going to come down to the pistol to see if they can pull themselves out of that hole. It's going to be a little bit of utility purchased up onto Engine. A lot of decoys purchased, Dean, so hopefully we see something interesting with those. I mean, you know, could decoys... Here's a question. Do you think decoys could be used or utilized a little bit more in Counter-Strike, or do you think they're just completely useless?
I feel like on the top level it's just too obvious. So
Yeah.
I don't think they can be all that effective. The only real use for them is a fake flash, and even then you don't really see that anymore. Can't remember the last time I seen a decoy used as a fake flash in a pro game. But let's see. As we said, very important pistol round right now for Space Soldiers. They need to pick this one up to just get a lifeline to even work with, to give any sort of an opportunity to try and pull back this game. As you said, Engine is the one that picks up utility, and it looks like they're just going to focus straight over towards that B-bomb site. They do have one player lurking up Ivy, which is Xanthars, and he's going to be given some opportunities. Gets the first onto Stavin, follows it up on towards Dragonfly. And let's see where they actually take this bomb now. It looks like A is going to be their main target. Instead, Refresh gets 2 somehow. I don't know how he makes this work every time. And Bubsky also finding the trade onto Xanthars. Suddenly it's a 2-on-2.
This guy is incredible. Like, I thought for sure this time, okay, Refresh has been caught out, but somehow he gets 2 kills. That is insane before he goes down, and he actually pulls the round in favor of Fragsters. In a scenario that looked as almost he was out of it, he pulls it back into favor of Fragsters. Man advantage, 2 versus 1, and clean shot from Bubsky, and that will be the pistol for the Fragsters. That could have easily went in favor of Space Soldiers, right? You see the 2 kills from Xanthars opening up Ivy, the double stack down towards the popped up position, Refresh missing his shots, really caught out from 3 different people shooting at him from 2 different angles. He should have went down immediately. Space Soldiers just don't land their shots, and somehow Refresh is able to get 2 before falling. And those 2 frags is what keeps it in favor of Fragsters. So 14-2, pissed around, picked up by the Danish side, and now it's just about taking over the line.
Yeah, and surprisingly, Space Soldiers actually going to play for overtime. I honestly expect them to just force into this one. Strange that they didn't. They probably could have dropped over 1 AK, I think. Yeah, only Xanthars, I think, could have dropped one over. So it wouldn't have been ideal to go for the force play, I suppose. But either way, is it really? Because they're going to have to get themselves 13 rounds in a row, most likely, to send it into overtime. And doing that on the D-sided train is not an easy feat at all.
Yeah, coming over towards B, I mean, Space Soldiers only have a couple of pistols. They didn't go for the force. Of course, they got the bomb plant, so they're just going to play for that early first buy. But at that point, you know, it's 15-2. Bomb goes down once more, so they'll have actually a really strong buy. Torben's picking up a couple of eco flags out to his collection. Bubsky arrives in to pick up one of his own, and Xanthar is now the last player, 1 HP, and he will be taking down by Torben as well, who gets 4. And that will be 15-2, map point for Fragsters, and this would be a very convincing way to end train. But this is going to be that full buy from Space Soldiers. After getting 2 bomb plants, they have a nice bit of money. Didn't get any frags though, but, you know, it's still a full buy coming through. They could go for the ult, but it would be a glass cannon, and we know Space Soldiers, they're a team that tend to lean towards the 5 rifle setups on their T side anyway. So they should be in their comfort position, and Space Soldiers are a team that their T sides are probably their best asset. So let's see what they can get done on this T side. I would say it's definitely a done deal for Fragsters taking this, but if Space Soldiers can, you know, even come back a couple of rounds, make it look a little bit more competitive, then that is their main goal.
Yeah, just warming themselves up. I think that is it's really all they can hope for in this position. Just make sure they're ready going into the second map. They can still pull this back. It is a best of 3, of course. But looking good for Fragsters on the first map. As you said, this is kind of their special pick. It is a map that they are yet to lose with this lineup. Quick 2-for-2 trade, though. We see Space Soldiers looking to immediately go over towards the A-bomb site, but not really having all that much success anymore, as we see the Scout being able to chime in. Stavin does the same. And now it's all onto Xanthars. If you wanted any player in this position, you probably would choose him. But it's not going to be enough. He gets taken down, and in the end, it's a very, very dominant scoreline. And then 16-2 in favor of Fragsters, and you have to say they kind of just they made that look easy.
Yeah, it was a very dominant performance from Fragsters, right? They go 10-10 on their map here on train. They haven't lost it yet. They've played it 10 times, won it 10 times. So obviously the results definitely point towards them being a very good team on this map. So, you know, you can't really lean too much on that, I guess. It's obviously their specialist map. We move on to Mirage. It's going to be a better map for for the Space Soldier side. And if you are a Space Soldier fan, you know, it's not all doom and gloom. We did see signs of Xanterra's beginning to wake up towards the end of that map. He was picking up double kills here and there. He didn't have that performance in the first half. He started to pick it up towards the end. So if he can start to continue that throughout Mirage, then who knows, Space Soldiers could be in for a nice surprise coming in that second map.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Mirage. I think this is still going to be a close game. I don't think it's as clear cut as Train was right there. I think it's definitely going to be much closer in terms of the scoreline. But how Fragsters were playing there, I think I think that you might actually be winning your bet, because I think they're just looking too solid right now. All their players are stepping it up. Space Soldiers just not really giving the performance that we know they can. I don't know what was wrong. They weren't really playing together. And surprisingly, none of their stars were stepping up. That's something you always look towards Space Soldiers, the fact that they have so many players who can step up. Xanterras and Calyx being the main ones, of course, but also Paz has those days where he's just an absolute monster as well. We know he has a very high skill ceiling, and we just didn't really see any of them step up in that game right there, and they're going to need to do so if they want any opportunity really to actually try and pull this one back. But yeah, guys, we are going to go ahead and just take a quick break. We'll be back in the next 10 or so minutes with Mirage. Until then, just going to go ahead and throw on some music.